Hi, I'm Crystal. I live in Ohio. The story I'm going to tell today is about the sexual abuse I encountered due to a family member. To be honest, I grew up in a household with my siblings, my mother. My father wasn't in my house, but he was in my life. My siblings and I had great memories. Great memories with my mom because my mother was a single mother. There were unfortunately hardships due to that, but my mother is a very strong woman and she made the best out of it, out of everything. Early in my childhood, I was more happy than I think around 7. It's kind of when I wasn't necessarily happy, and it's due to just some of the emotional and verbal abuse that I received. It was a great aunt of mine. The earliest memory I have of her, she's always been very mean to me. I'm not sure why she was always like that to me. She would tell me that I'm not going to be anything like my mother and laying on my back with my legs open and having a bunch of kids. I'll never forget that time because we were in the car. All of my cousins were there and I was sitting in the back seat and she was in the driver's seat of the car. And she said that to me. That is a moment I will never forget. We were going downtown Chicago. She made a bet on me between me and another cousin, which one of us would get pregnant first. She lied and said that I would steal stuff from her. When she found what she said that I stole, never got an apology, never Cece, I was wrong. You didn't steal this. Every chance she got, she talked about me, and it did ruin my self-esteem. I get sometimes people in family joking, like they would say, oh, she never liked you, or she didn't like you, and they would laugh, but I don't think they realized the emotional damage that she did to me. As a 30-year-old woman, I'm just now able to look at myself and say that I'm beautiful due to that. And it's sad being a young kid and hearing those type of things. It wears down on a person's self-esteem, how they view themselves due to that. I didn't view myself as being smart or beautiful. I went through depression due to some of the other emotional abuse I went through. I took a bunch of pills trying to commit suicide. Due to that, my mother was trying to find the best option for me. Her sister volunteered and said that Cece can come and stay with me. I'll help her. Her sister lived in a nice house, nice neighborhood, so everyone assumed that that wouldn't be an issue. Just because of that, her husband made a lot of money. She was a police officer. So of course, you look at that from the outside, you would say, why not? So I went to go live in Sugar Grove, Illinois with her, with my mom's sister and her husband and her 2 children. There was enough bedrooms in the house for me to have my own bedroom. Things were good for the first few weeks. I thought, gosh, I'm really living in this house, this beautiful house, 4 or 5 bedroom house. We all have our own rooms. It's big houses all around. It's what I'm thinking is at times. Rich people around here. Seems like a nice neighborhood. And so I thought I would be good. I went to a new school. When I went to Kane High School, it was a transfer from my old school. It was fine. I got to live with my cousin. We were the same age. We just had fun. His dad and him would wrestle. His sister would also wrestle. They would try and take down their dad, and I would help too. We try and take him down to win. I thought that it was fun. It was fun to do so. And, there were a few times where I felt something swipe across my butt, but we were wrestling. So at the time I thought maybe that we were wrestling. Sometimes just happens, no one means anything by it. And then in school, we had to change from our regular clothes to our PE clothes, which would be a t-shirt and some shorts, very loose so you can run and do the exercises that you need to do. Some of the girls were shaving their legs. And of course I was not. While there, at least, I was not. And some of the girls were, talking about me. I really didn't want anyone talking about me because being at that school, it was about 5 or 6 black kids at the school. Having only 5 to 6 people that you can relate to at a school, unfortunately, it does make you an easier target, regardless of your skin color. It makes you an easier target when there's not a lot of people that look like you at the school that you're going to. My mom's sister, she worked as a police officer. She worked nighttime, so he was there. her husband, and I asked him, could he take me to the store? There was a gas station down the street, to get a razor to shave my legs. Obviously, there were other parts as well that I wanted to, but I didn't want to get into that with him because it was just felt uncomfortable just to say that to him. He said, okay. We were driving. Things were fine. And about 2 minutes into the drive, he put his hand on my thigh and he said, I know it's not for your legs. It was a shock. It was like, did he really just say that? I still to this day can't even tell you how I felt 100%. It was just such an unexplainable feeling in that moment. I didn't say anything because I just didn't want to tell him all of the reasons that it was for. I felt like he wasn't my dad, he wasn't my mom, so I didn't want to talk to him about these things. But we did. We went to the gas station, got the razors, we came back, and it was the most silent car ride. We got back to the house. Things after that were very awkward. He began to, if I'm standing, they had an island in the kitchen. If I'm standing at the island or if I'm washing dishes, because we had chores, he would walk up and brush up against me to the point where I was able to feel his private area on my behind. I still didn't say anything. I ignored it, just act like it didn't happen. I've never been in a position like that. It was just such a shock to me. And then because I said she worked night shift, that he watched us at night. That's when everything just happened at nighttime. As that started to happen, the brushing against, so wasn't doing good in math. And in order for him to help me, he would say, I need a kiss. And then if I didn't give him a kiss, I didn't get any help. If I didn't get any help, I got grounded and I got in trouble by my aunt. She assumed that I just didn't want to do work and that I was just slacking off, when in reality I didn't want to kiss her husband. And eventually I just did it just to be able to get my work done. And the first time it happened, it was very soon after. I was in their living room. They had a big sectional. It was like a tan brown sectional. I would say closer to a tan color. His son and his daughter were upstairs. Again, it was a pretty big house, and I was downstairs. He told me to lay on the floor. I didn't at first. I just sit there because it was just also shocking. Just like, this is a person I looked up to my entire life. It's just like, it's unbelievable. What do you do? Like, you just don't know. And the second time I just did it, and for a long time I blamed myself for just doing it. I felt like I could have said no, but as I got older, I realized that when you're in a situation, your body goes into survival mode. So I laid on the floor and he pulled his pants down. He had my jeans and pulled them down. And then he stuck his private inside of me and he asked me, can I feel it? And I didn't say anything. His daughter came down the stairs. She was so silent. I turned my head to the right and her head was peeking around the corner. But she still didn't say anything. She was younger than I was. He got up, I got up, and I went upstairs to the room. And I shut the door and I cried. I sat in the corner behind that door and I cried. And then about 5 minutes at the most, maybe 3, he came in, he opened the door, and he apologized to me. He told me he was sorry. I don't know why he did what he did, and that it'll never happen again. He actually grabbed my face, like, on both sides, and I was looking him in his eyes, and he was looking me in my eyes, and he said he was sorry. And to be honest, I believed him. I'm like, okay, he said he's sorry. People make mistakes all the time. He won't do it again. I won't say anything because he said he's sorry. I truly believe that he was sorry for that time. Shortly after, days later, I realized he wasn't sorry. Things just kept happening. Whenever I take a shower, he would try and come in. I would shower with the door locked. He would try and come in. And again, my aunt worked night shift. Left him there. This happened over a course of 4 to 5 months. I finally decided to tell someone. I remember the day my aunt was having a gathering at her house, and my family was very, very big on family gatherings and things happening. All my little cousins and family members were over there. I told my younger cousin what happened. She's only a few years younger than me, and she told me, Cece, you need to tell somebody. And I told her. He said he was sorry. I don't like, and I'm afraid to tell. And she told me I need to tell. I didn't tell. The event was over. Everybody went home. I have to say maybe a month later or 2. I'm not sure. It was around Christmas break. There was kind of like a tradition in my family where one of my aunts or 2 take all of the nieces and nephews, the great nieces and nephews, which I'm considered a great niece and nephew, and they would take us the whole Christmas break. We would go to this place called the McCormick Place. We would go camping. And I went to my cousin's house, the one that I told that happened when it happened. The one that told me to tell. I went to her house. She told me, again, Cece, you need to tell somebody. And I again, did not want to tell anybody. I didn't feel like anyone would believe me. I was just scared. And so she gave me her phone. I called my mom. We called him. And she convinced me to tell him, I'm telling people what you did to me. And that's all I said to him. We told her dad. And from then on, it was just crazy. My aunt's kids were also in Chicago, but they weren't with me. I was at a different house, because that's where a lot of our family is from. They were going on the camping trip with some other aunts. My aunt immediately got into her car and came and got her kids and told her kids not to speak to anyone. Then after, my mom and another one of her sisters were arrested, because when I called and told him that, and I told my mom, he was at one of my aunt's house. My mom, she pulled up, she and another one of her sisters beat him up, and they did catch a charge for that. From what I've heard, it was a very crazy scene. Before his wife, my aunt, went to go get her kids, she told my mom to do what she needs to do as far as beating up. And to me, that comment right there let me know that she knew that he was guilty and that he did exactly what I said that he did. We went to the police, filed charges, went to Sugar Grove Police Department. They did not want to take my case. Then we went to Oswego Police Department. They did not want to take my case. Went to Warwick Police Department. No one wanted to take my case, all because she was an Warwick Police Department officer. The first officer I spoke to in Sugar Grove told me I was lying and that she did not believe me. At that moment, I just felt like every fear that I had with telling this story just came true. And I had a wish that I never said anything. And being a child and telling the police that, who are supposed to be here to protect you, someone did something so horrific to you, and then being told in your face by a police officer that they don't believe you and that you're alive. When she said that, I shut down. I didn't say anything else. There was nothing else for me to say. It was a very difficult time. I had to go get a rape kit done. All my clothes and things were still at her house. She took all of my underwear. I did save things to try and, build up the courage. So I had panties that I saved. She took all of that. She set a bag outside, and that bag just had very few clothes, no underwear, no bras, and it was raining. She set it outside, raining. I had to get a whole new wardrobe. My dad's sister helped me. I'll never forget her. She's such an amazing person. She helped me get panties, socks, shoes. I had nothing but the shoes on my feet. And so I've had an aunt tell me that I have plenty of aunts. One didn't want me at her house because she didn't want me to seduce her husband. Some did not believe me, and some told me I need to forgive. I grew up in a very strict Jehovah's Witness family, and so it was, you need to forgive. Only Jehovah knows his heart. If you don't forgive him, Jehovah will never forgive you for your sins. I've even had certain grandparents tell my mother that I'll get over it, don't worry about it. It was horrific. It was terrible. I don't wish that on nobody. After telling, we went to court. I do remember talking to an attorney. Soon after talking to an attorney, it was a lot of self-harming. I did a lot of self-harming, a lot of taking pills. I ended up going, after trying to commit suicide again, I ended up going to Mercy Hospital. I was on the kids' floor. That's a traumatic thing. At that point, I had been twice. I knew I had my issues going on, but I seen kids there. They were like 7, 6, and it was just like, what are these? These are children. In there, when you first get there, they put you in a room. It's behind the desk. They search you, make sure you don't have anything on you. You got to sleep in there for the first night or first 2. I'm not really sure. I don't remember. And it's set up like a dorm type of thing. 4 beds, 4 to 5 beds to a room. Girls on one side, boys on one side. Of the 4, the beds were stuck to the floor, so you cannot move the beds. The glass was plastic. The shower, there was no curtains because it was a floor for kids that unfortunately have tried to commit suicide, have ran away, self-harming, so they had to take extra precautions. You get no privacy. You get up, you brush your teeth, and you got to give them your toothbrush right back. You cannot have your toothbrush at all. You get certain phone calls, depending if your parents want to put restrictions. The person that calls you has to have a passcode. You eat what they gave you. If you did not, you could choose not to eat. It was definitely something I'll never forget. Going there. And I was there for almost 2 weeks. We talked, group sessions. There were certain movie nights, but boys, girls still had to stay separate. They really didn't want us forming friendships in there. I formed a few. My aunt's never said anything to me. Her 2 kids have never said anything to me. I mean, I've heard things that their daughter has said. She hates me. She feels like I ruined her life. I've expressed to so many family members how uncomfortable that it makes me for him to be there. But because I was raised up in such a religious family, I was always told that we don't know his real heart. What if he's changed? And no one but God knows his heart. And because of that, I can't judge him and I shouldn't hate him. It has made me look at religion differently as an adult now, completely differently. It's really hard. I've gotten plenty of questions from family members, and not to blame God, because I am atheist now. Not to blame God for what one man did. It's not God's fault. It's the devil's fault. What happened to me and him raping me does play a part in me not believing in God. I feel as though we hear these stories and God is amazing and he's powerful and he's pure of heart and he loves us all and doesn't want anything bad to happen to us. But yet there's still so many innocent people that's being hurt daily, every second, every minute. Innocent children, innocent adults, innocent humans, innocent lives being taken or being ruined. And I just can't feel like there's a God that would allow that to happen. As an imperfect human, if I'd have that power, I would end all the bad people. And I'm an imperfect human, not as perfect as God is supposed to be. It's pushed me away from religion. I no longer believe in a God. There are other things, logic for me. My logical thinking also plays a part. It has affected my dating. It has affected my day-to-day life. It has affected my trust that I have in people. Dating, only dated 2 people after that, and one is including my husband that I'm most currently with. I get scared sometimes. It made me very paranoid about what would happen or if it would happen again. That's my biggest fear. I'm so very, very thankful that I have an amazing husband that is so supportive, that understands me. It's just kind of almost like I'm just so lucky to have him in my life right now. I never thought that I would be here. I wanted to. I didn't think I was going to. I know I dealt with so much. Here I am now with an amazing husband. I just finished school last year. I've been with my husband since 2012. We have 2 kids. We just bought a house last year. I'm able to be a stay-at-home mom. I'm living a life that so many people thought I would never live. And I didn't just do it to prove them wrong. I did it because I knew that I deserved this life. I deserved to be where I am at. I deserved a husband that was loving and caring. I deserved to have a beautiful family and children and to care for them and to love them, to protect them. I've chosen recently to talk about this, to talk about what happened. Because my entire life I've gone through thinking he got away for what he did to me. I did not know until a month ago that he didn't necessarily get away, but he got away. It's a slap on the wrist. I was going to tell my story, and I do talk about telling my story so that, he feels guilty for the rest of his life. But I also tell my story because I know I'm not the only one. There's so many that have not spoken up or that are afraid, and I understand that part too. And I always tell people, it's your story to tell. If you do not want to tell your story, do not tell your story. It is your story to tell. No one can force you to tell your story. And don't let anyone guilt trip you into thinking that you have to tell, because it's just going to affect you mentally because you weren't ready.